Hey guys, before we start the podcast, I just want to give a massive shout out to TBC Live, guys. TBC Live, they are sponsoring the channel. TBC Live, guys, is a fantastic way to communicate and interact with your favorite content creators. I am a content creator and I am on the app as well, and it's a very awesome way to predict the outcome of the games, whether it may be a first try scorer, whether it be a 40-20 or it be a 6 again, whatever it may be. Guys, download TBC Live today, and I will see you on the app. Now, last week we fired the guy that was doing the intros and stuff. This week we have a brand new guy in charge. His name is Mulatalo. So Mulatalo, hit the intro. Man, it's good to see someone new doing the job, man. Mulatalo, fantastic production. Barbara will be pleased. As for George, we don't need to know who George is anymore. He's been sacked. Mulatalo, very good start. He may even get a promotion on his first day. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia, and welcome to the Nfa Podcast, episode number 6 for your Wednesday night. It is currently 7:04 p.m., September 11, 2024. As always, Warriors NRL Fanatics is here to join us. Fanatics, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing great, Nick, and it's good to be back for another podcast. Of course, finals footy's underway this week, so no doubt about it. Good luck to your Cowboys this week in the finals, and yeah, good luck to everyone's team who's featuring the finals this week. So
Appreciate it,
sadly,
bro.
my team's not. Yeah, sadly, my team's not in it, which is disappointing. But looking forward to the finals. Should be good. But yeah, looking forward to the podcast tonight.
I hope you enjoyed your Mad Monday.
Yep.
I know a lot about those Mad Mondays. They're fun,
Oh.
but they're also depressing because you want to be in the finals competing for a premiership. So, also shout out to the live chat. Luke is here. SS Storm fan. Jason Reeder. Michael Driver. Lockie is in the chat. Who else is here? We got Sports Music God is in the chat. We got everyone rolling in. Rishi and Josh. William Pearson. Jeffrey. Everyone that's here. I hope you are all doing well for your Wednesday night. If you haven't liked the live stream yet, guys, make sure you do. Subscribe to the channel. Would greatly appreciate it. All right. Finals edition, man. Pretty much. Let's just get things underway. And let's just... Okay, you know what? We're going to start with some annoying news. Disappointing news. Josh Adokar situation. Didn't really want to talk about this. Didn't really want to bring this up. But, yes, Josh Adokar was pulled over on Friday night, and apparently he had a drug test, and then they said it was inconclusive or something, and then the police had to go somewhere else because of another emergency, and he's actually stood himself down for this week's elimination final against the Manly Seagulls. But it's hard to really get a read on this whole thing until we hear more about it. But Fanatics, bro, what's your take on this whole thing?
Yeah, look, it's a tough one. It's a tough situation to really get your head around because we don't know the whole story. We don't know the whole story. Obviously, we know parts of the story, and Adokar's come out and stepped himself down for this week's game. And you got Gus who came out in the media. He's, Josh Adokar's going to defend himself and all that sort of stuff. And it's a tricky situation. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know how you can, how much I can really say about this, because at the moment all we know is apparently he took a drugs test and apparently it failed one. Apparently there was a second drug test and it's come back negative after a while,
Mm,
but which is,
yes.
and then he stands himself down, which is, it's a bit hard to understand. It's really hard to understand the whole situation. So yeah, I don't
Well,
know. We'll see what happens, but yeah, it's quite
well,
tricky
if you
to.
listen to what Gus Gould said on
Mm,
100% footy the other night, he pretty much
yep.
gave the reasoning behind why Adokar was stood down, and they don't want it to make it a distraction for the club and whatever. I
Mm,
think that's probably a little bit too late for that, but um,
yeah.
I think it's smart from Adokar on his end to stand down.
Mm,
And look, man, the Bulldogs the Bulldogs will be fine without Adokar. Man, Adokar was out for a while this year anyway, and they were still winning games and looking very good. So he is a bit of a loss, but I think they'll be fine, man. Like they've got some phenomenal young talents there at the Dogs, and someone like a Skelton or Blake Wilson coming back from injury. They've got some good kids there, man. So it's not like the Dogs are going to be screwed.
mm.
They should be okay. Should be okay. Um, yeah. Look, it's a tough thing to say. Apparently, he was heading to a 7-Eleven convenience store to get a phone charger or something, and then yeah, it's a bit of a tough situation. Do you buy his story?
Um, yeah, I'm not. I think it's obviously tricky to say. Whether he's telling the truth or he's lying, or it's quite tricky to say. The whole situation's a bit hard to comment on at the moment
Yeah,
because we just don't know the whole situation. And look, he may have failed a drugs test and then passed. Well, failed the first one and then he came back negative the second time apparently. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know because he stood himself down this week, which is I think it's the right thing.
I
Of
do
course,
too.
it's the right thing to do. He doesn't want to distract the team and all. It's probably already a distraction anyway. Even though they'll deny it's not a distraction. It has been this week for them, but to step himself down because he doesn't want to make it like toxic in team culture
Yeah,
going into the finals and that because it's their first finals in what couple of years. Last
2016.
2016 was the last time they made the finals. So plus they're playing Manly this week, another team who themselves haven't made the finals in a few years as well. And
All right,
yeah, so
question. I got a question.
yep.
If Adokar, if Josh Adokar, if his other drug test comes back
Mm,
positive and he's
yep.
basically lied to Gus Gould, who practically runs the Dogs,
Yeah.
if you're Gus and the Bulldogs, do you suspend Adokar? Do you give him a huge fine? Do you sack him for lying and putting the club in disarray? I suppose you could say, putting them in the media for the wrong reasons. What do you do if Adokar comes back positive?
Well, you've got to take action. You've definitely got to take action if he's done it.
Would you
If he's
sack
done
him?
what he oh, this might sound a bit harsh, but I think you would. Um
Oh,
yeah, it might sound harsh, and I know he's a big name player and all, and but like if you're gonna take drugs, you shouldn't be able to get away with it. I know a lot of clubs have had their players, in the past been in situations like that, and of course they've been fined and suspended, and that some of them haven't been, fully kicked out of the club. But I think if you're
hmm.
in this position, it's not a good look. It's not a good look if it's true
I
and
don't
all that.
know if I'd sack him, man. Like, I'm sort of more on the
Mm,
fence because
right. Yeah.
I don't know,
Mm,
man. Like, it's Adokar. He's a
different.
very, very popular player at the Dogs. I know
Yep.
the Bulldogs have got very high standards, and you don't want, players to be doing that sort of stuff and whatever. But I think just whack him. Like, if he comes back positive, whack him with a massive fine, and he'll probably never do it again after that because it'll hurt his bank account too much, and suspend him. Suspend him. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, moving on. Warriors NRL fanatics.
Yep.
Newcastle Knights coach Adam O'Brien takes a shot at the Cowboys. Now, as we know, Saturday night, Cowboys versus Knights, the elimination final up there in Townsville, Saturday night. It'll probably be a sellout if it's not already a sellout. I know it's fairly close to a sellout. Now, I don't know if you've seen any of this, Mr. Warriors NRL fanatics, but
Yeah.
Adam O'Brien has taken a shot, man.
Ooh.
He has taken a shot. This is what he has said. So Adam O'Brien said, I feel like we're more ready for a tight battle than the opposition are. They've had some real blowout scorelines and haven't had a real contest for a while. So he's basically saying, and he also said something about that they're a bit more battle hardened than the Cowboys. So he's practically saying that the Knights are more of a better defensive team, and they're more ready for a tough, gritty contest. So, look, man, I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to hype up the game. I get it. But this was Todd Payton's response. The crowd is probably like our footy team. We're too nice. I'd like to make it a very hostile environment for the opposition. We've been at stadiums this year where it can be quite uncomfortable where the crowd interact with our team. Where it can be quite uncomfortable where the crowd interact with our team. I'd like to return the favor. So, look, a little bit of juice in the air with this whole Adam O'Brien versus Todd Payton. O'Brien taking a shot at the Cowboys. Do you think it's smart for an 8th place coach to take a crack at a team that got a home final?
Look, I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to, of course, amp up the game. He's trying to, get into the minds of the Cowboys, and I don't think that's going to work, to be honest. And I feel like, of course, if you're Adam O'Brien, you're going to try everything. Being the opposition coach to, it takes the pressure off his players and that, and puts the pressure on the Cowboys, and of course, being the Cowboys, they're favourites, massive favourites to get up over the Knights at home.
Oh, we're not that massive favourites. The odds aren't that bad.
Oh, well, according to a lot of people would probably say the Cowboys should win. Because the Knights, finished 8th. The Cowboys finished higher than the Knights, but
that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, is it the right thing to do to be coming out and saying that could fire up the Cowboys even more? It could come back to bite the Knights, and Adam O'Brien could backfire on them come the finals. So I'm a little bit on the fence with it. I'm a little bit on the fence, sort of, in a way. But I know you, Nick, you'll probably say it's probably not on. It's not necessary, and that.
Oh, look, you know what?
Yeah.
I could give two shits.
Yep.
I couldn't give two shits what Adam O'Brien has to say, but if he wants to come out and have a war of words about our players and about our club, about we're the Knights, we're a bit more battle hardened than the Cowboys, blah blah blah. Well, we'll see on Saturday night. We'll see. And look, the Newcastle Knights, in my opinion, might be the most undeserving 8th place team I've seen in a number of years. Years. They were lucky to be in the 8. They had a very soft run home. They beat teams that were dead and buried, like the Rabbitohs and the Titans. And then they beat a Dolphins side, which was one of the shittest games I saw over the weekend. And the Knights were dudded a very controversial no try at the start of the game. Would have been a whole different game if Trey Fuller's try had been given. But
Oh,
you know what? The Knights are there. They're in the 8.
boy.
We'll see how they go on Saturday night. But I see what O'Brien's trying to do. He's trying to play some mind games. But all I got to say this, show that footage of what Adam O'Brien said to someone like a Jason Tamalolo. And if Tamalolo gets fired up, he will destroy that Knights pack, man. He will. He
Oh,
will. Everyone's like, oh, Tamalolo, he's past his best. He's washed up. Sure, he might be past his best, but I really pissed off Jason Tamalolo after a coach has just talked a heap of shit about the club. I would not want to piss off someone like Tamalolo. I would not. So bring it on, Newcastle. Bring it on. Bring it on Saturday night. I hope they bring that same energy to the game. I hope they do. I want to see them have a crack. And I want to see us beat them. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. All right, speaking of finals footy, how about this one? Luke Brooks.
oh.
Will Luke Brooks handle finals footy? It's been a long time coming, man. Luke Brooks made his NRL debut in 2013. I think it was like round 24 or something. I can't even remember what. I think that was the year, right? I think that was 2013. Luke Brooks has never played finals, and he's finally going to play finals after what is it? 11 years? Yeah, 11 years. So well done to Luke Brooks. Congratulations. But Fanatics, will Luke Brooks handle finals footy? It's a different ball game. It's a different beast. What do you reckon?
I actually think with of course with Cherry Evans, DCE being he's played in some big finals matches. I'm sure he's going to get a bit of advice from Cherry Evans in his halves combination between those two. So I think he can do quite well. I think he can do quite well. I know it's only his first finals game, and there'll be lots of pressure. Big game, big, under the big lights, big arena, stadium. Of course, the crowds. You got everything with everything. On the line, with it being a week one finals match and the winner going through. So I think Luke Brooks can handle the finals pressure. I'm going to say yes. I think he can handle it. Because he's going to be alongside the likes of Cherry Evans, and Cherry Evans is an experienced player in itself, and I'm sure the pressure is not all going to be on Luke Brooks. Cherry Evans will definitely help him in a way as well, so I think he can do it. I think he can handle it. Being the first game, it's obviously massive pressure, but I think he can handle it.
I think Luke Brooks is a very good rugby league player. He's a talent.
Yeah.
Will he handle finals footy? I guess we're going to have to wait and see. But early prediction, I'm going to say Luke Brooks doesn't handle finals footy. I think he's going to crumble under the pressure, man. I think Luke Brooks playing finals, it's going to be a really different feeling for him. It's going to be a different atmosphere, a different game. There's a big difference between round 21 of the NRL compared to week 1 of the NRL finals. And they're playing a Bulldogs side at a core stadium, and the Bulldogs are very well known for their defense. So if they frustrate Luke Brooks, I think Luke Brooks is going to struggle. I know DCE's there with him, and he's got a lot of support, but I don't know, man. I just got this bad feeling that he's not going to handle it well. And look, man, this is going to sound really harsh, and I know Luke Brooks has had a good season, but I don't think Luke Brooks is that dude in the finals that's gonna lead Manly to success. I don't know, man. I think Luke Brooks needs to play a couple of finals, and then he'll have a big game. I think it might take it might take 1 or 2 finals games where he's a bit quiet, maybe not as good, and then after, a couple of finals games, he's had a little bit of a taste of it, then he might explode. I just think first final series, 5-8, it's really a 50-50 game that Manly Bulldogs won on Sunday afternoon. I just don't think Luke Brooks is going to handle the pressure. I think he's going to I think he might go missing, I don't know. I hope I'm wrong because I am a fan of Luke Brooks. I think he's a very good talent, but I've just got this gut feeling that it's just not going to go down well.
I think he'll do all right. I'll probably disagree with you on that one. I know that it's a tough one because it's his first finals game and that, but I don't know.
Yeah,
If something tells me that the likes of Luke Brooks with Cherry Evans, and Cherry Evans has been to a lot of big games. He's played in a lot of big games, finals matches, internationals,
yeah.
origins. I feel like his experience and guidance will help Luke Brooks in this big occasion, especially. I don't know
I,
because
I hope
yeah.
he goes well. I just got a few little concerns. Like,
Mm.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's because they're playing the Bulldogs and the Bulldogs are going to be out for blood because I've lost 2 in a row. So I don't know, man. I don't think this matchup is going to be good for Luke Brooks. If Manly were playing the Knights, for example, I would be more confident and comfortable in backing Luke Brooks. But because they're playing the Dogs, I don't think it's a good matchup for Luke Brooks.
Mm.
But we'll see. We'll see. Good luck to him, man. Good luck to him. He's changed his career, man. I hope he goes well. Fair play to him. All right, moving on. I can't believe this. I honestly
Oh,
can't. Let's get into this. NRL referee Adam G overlooked for the finals. So if you guys don't know or you don't keep up with the NRL referees in big games, Adam G refereed last year's, I think it was Origin Series, and he did the grand final. And he did the Pacific Championship grand final at the end of the year. Adam G was ranked and rated as the number 1 NRL referee. And then he was replaced in Origin by Ashley Klein. A lot of us sort of were scratching our heads like this, going, why? It was a bizarre one, but they have overlooked Adam G that bad. He isn't even the main referee for any games this weekend. So on Friday night, Panthers and Roosters, Ashley Klein is the referee. He's in charge. Melbourne Cronulla, you've got Jared Sutton. Cowboys versus Knights, you've got the redhead referee, Todd Smith, who, was such a big fan of. And then obviously Grant Atkins, he's doing Dogs and Manly on Sunday afternoon. I can't believe that Adam G is not doing any games. Fanatics, you look a little bit shocked by it. What's your 10 cents on this?
I was really shocked. I couldn't believe it. How do you go from refereeing an NRL grand final to an Origin,
Oh,
to an international, to being demoted, not even refereeing in the finals? It's a bit crazy. It's hard to believe. I personally think Adam G is the best ref in the NRL.
I do
I
too.
think he's I
I
think
do
he's still
too.
the best ref. I think he's still the best ref in the game. I think the way he ref last year with the grand final, the Origins, the international, I didn't have an issue with it. I didn't have an issue with his refereeing. Um, I was just surprised he's not even actually getting a NRL finals match. Not even one.
You know what? When it comes
Yeah,
to referees, right, you've got Klein,
yeah.
Sutton, Smith, and Atkins. The 2
Mm,
referees out of the 4 that I do have a problem with. I have a problem with Todd Smith. I don't rate his refereeing. I'm not the biggest fan. I'm sure he can change it and he can improve. And the other one is Grant Atkins. I can't deal with Grant Atkins. I can't do it. I try my best to give him the benefit of the doubt, but there's something about Atkins. I don't know if it's 6 against or if He looks for the cheap bullshit, but I can't deal with it. I'm okay with Klein because I know what you're going to get from Ashley Klein. I sort of expect, like Ashley Klein, he's good at letting the game flow. I can live with him. And Jared Sutton's been around for a very long time. He's a well-respected referee. I'm okay with them too. No problem.
Yeah.
Jared Sutton's had his moments, but, oh, bro, Todd Smith, why? Did he, with all due respect, did Todd Smith get the Cowboys game because it's going to be very hot in Townsville and he's a redhead? Is that what it is? Like, come on, man. Is that what it is? Goodness me. Goodness me. I'm actually shocked, Fanatics. Adam G not refereeing any games. Shocked.
Yeah, it's still hard to believe. Still hard to believe. I'm still trying to digest how he's not refereeing at least one game.
Now, based off those, the situation with this weekend, does that mean Adam G won't be refereeing the grand final? Like, how's he going to referee the grand final if he can't even get 1 week of the finals, week 1 of the finals? Like,
yeah, well,
what do you reckon about that?
yeah, well, unless he's getting rested for and then refs the grand final.
Yeah,
Be the
100%,
case,
bro, 100%.
Yeah.
Now, I just found there's actually a reason behind it. Graham Annesley has actually explained why Adam G is not refereeing. So let me get the article up for you.
Ooh,
Right. So this is what I found online. Saw this
Interesting.
earlier today. So NRL head of football, Graham Annesley, has explained the decision to sideline leading referee Adam G for the first week of the finals, a decision which has sparked confusion and controversy. G was the main ref for last year's grand final when he let the game flow. However, Adam G has fallen out of favour in 2024. He was overlooked to referee the Grand Origin. Thanks, Ashley Klein was obviously given the opportunity, and the NRL's appointed Klein, Sutton, Smith, Atkins to control the 4 games this weekend, which obviously left Adam G on the bench. Graham Annesley revealed the decision came down to Adam G's form compared to the other 4 whistlers.
Well.
And you know what else is a big slap in the face? Adam G's not even in the bunker for any games.
Oh
Now,
no.
form. Adam G refereed Manly Cronulla on the weekend, and I don't think he was that bad. I don't think there was any decision in that game which cost either team the game. The Sharks were just too good, but terrible decision, Fanatics. Terrible decision.
It's absolutely shocking. I just can't work it out. I just can't understand form. Like if they're saying form, then I don't know. Like the games he's ref this year, I didn't see anything in his performances to say that he shouldn't be reffing the finals. Yeah.
God. What game did Todd Smith do last weekend? Trying to remember. Todd Smith. What game did he do last weekend? Someone can let me know in the chat. I can't remember, but yeah, we're going to move on from that. I honestly can't believe it. Can't believe it. All right, moving on. Fanatics. Are the Cowboys flying under the radar? Now, you probably know my answer to this, but the NRL media, NRL 360 and all these other, big rugby league television shows that you see, no one's talking about the Cowboys. No one wants to talk about them. They all want to say, oh, they're too inconsistent, blah, 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 can't defend. No one's giving them a rap, which is not surprising. The Matty John show I barely even spoke about the Cowboys on the weekend. I said, oh, the Bulldogs had too many players out, blah, blah, blah. Fanatics, obviously you live in Queensland. You probably hear about it a bit more than me down here in New South Wales. But Do you think the Cowboys are flying under the radar?
I I reckon they are. I reckon they are. I know the betting's probably going to have you guys as favourites this week. Um,
Yeah, we are. We are.
yeah, so a lot of people are expecting you guys to win this week, playing Newcastle, but then it's the following week people will probably say, oh, if it is a Sharks, if they do lose this week, you know, people will probably have the Sharks winning, even though the
Yeah, you
Sharks
know what
haven't
I
won a
mean.
finals match.
Yeah, you know what
Yeah,
I
that's the
mean.
thing. People will still have the Sharks as favourites, even though they haven't won a finals match under Fitzgibbon. So I think they are flying under the radar. I reckon they are. And look, last week you got to give credit to the Cowboys. I know some people won't give enough credit. People say, "Oh, the Dogs had a few outs," and
What do
they
you do?
weren't. But what do you do? The Cowboys went to Sydney and they won there, and you've got to give them credit. And they haven't defended well this year. And I've actually been pretty critical of the Cowboys' defense this year. I'm not gonna lie, but
Yeah,
their defense in that game to only concede one try. I think it was only one try that you conceded um, against the Dogs. And I know the Dogs had a few outs, but still,
it was
it's a team.
44-6
Yeah, 44-6. It's still
in
a big score.
Sydney at a core
Exactly.
stadium where the
Exactly.
Dogs had
Yeah.
only lost one game going into it at that ground this year as the
Mm,
home team. This is how under the radar the Cowboys are going. And I'll give you a couple of numbers. The
yep.
Cowboys, I think they're 5 from 7 in Sydney this year. I think so. Now, okay, let me get the stats here, right? The Cowboys, I'm pretty sure they won 8 away games this year. Oh, I'm pretty sure.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure we won eight away, 7 at home. So right, away games. Here we go. Let's have a look at this. The Cowboys wins in Sydney this year.
Mm,
Dragons, but the Dragons in Sydney,
yep.
Roosters in Sydney, Panthers in Sydney, Tigers in Sydney, and the Bulldogs in Sydney. We won 1, 2, 3, 4. We won 5 out of 7 in Sydney this year. We haven't lost an away game since round 10. That was against the Titans on the Gold Coast. We have been doing a great job away from home. I know we probably need to improve our home record, and that is something that the club needs to work on. But we are going that much under the radar. We've won our last 6 away games, and we've won 5 out of 7 in Sydney. And we are not known to win in Sydney a lot this year, or in general.
Mm,
We've won a
yep.
shitload down there. So to anyone out there, and this is serious, man, because I am sick to death of every single person saying Cowboys can't win away. It is the biggest load of fucking bullshit on social media. Like, I can't tell you how much it fucking pisses me off. Like, I get so angry. I'm sick of it. I really am. We've won 5 out of 7 in Sydney this year. That's more than any Queensland team combined this year in Sydney. And I'm pretty sure we've won like 6 in a row away games. Let me get this. Let me get the numbers. So obviously we lost an away game to the Titans, but we won round 11 away, round 13 away, round 15 away, 17 away. Hang on, let me count this. How many away games we won in a row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've won 6 away games in a row, and we're 5 from 7 in Sydney this year. So, they can talk about stats all they want, but it's time to give us some credit for our away record because it's been unbelievable this year. Probably the best in ages. I think when we won the Premiership in 2015, our away record wasn't this good. So, give us some respect, man. Give us some respect. Fucking hell, man. Drives me mad. CJ Moxley in the chat. Hello, CJ. And I put your record up this afternoon. Yeah, well, it's about time. It's about time. But You watch NRL 360, you watch the Matty John show, you watch some bloody Channel 9 rugby league shows or whatever on other broadcasting channels, whether it be TV or content creators. No one's talking about it. And no one wants to talk about us. So this weekend, if we win, which I'm confident we will, they will be forced to talk about us next week. They'll be forced to. They'll have to give us respect. But anyway, I think the Cowboys are definitely going under the radar for sure. You reckon, Fanatics?
Yeah, I reckon they are. I reckon that they are at the moment. But look, if they keep winning in the finals over the next couple of weeks, and
They'll
some people might,
have to talk about us.
some
They'll have no
some
choice.
people might have to start, talking about them a bit more.
We won 15 games this year. We won more games than Bulldogs and Manly, yet they all the Sydney media want to kiss the Bulldogs and Manly ass. How about you give us some respect? All right, moving on. Now, and after this, we'll get into our tips for week one of the finals. Fanatics, will any top four side go out in straight sets? Obviously, the finals begin on Friday night, Saturday and Sunday. Will any of the top four sides, your Storm, your Panthers, your Roosters, your Sharks, will any of them go out in straight sets?
Yep, I'm going to say yes.
Who?
I'm going to say Sharks.
Oh, bye-bye, Cronulla. Why?
Yep,
What's your reason behind it? Why?
Okay, so my reason behind it is one, they don't have a good record in finals over the years. Under Fitzgibbon, they haven't actually gone any further. And yeah, I don't know. There's something about them, like I know they won last week. I know they had a good one last week against Manly, down in Manly, and that was unexpected. I didn't expect them to win by that much. I thought Manly going into that game were favourites. But look, I don't know. Something about the Sharks just comes to finals. They just don't have the, I don't think they have the finals mentality to go very far. That's just what I reckon there. But yeah, something about them that I don't know. I'm just not convinced. But hey, if they win this week, I'll be happy to put my hand up and say I was wrong. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Sharks will be the ones to go out in straight sets. In my opinion, I just feel like this week they got Melbourne. They lose to Melbourne, then the following week they'll probably play someone like the Cowboys or that, and I think they'll lose. That's
Well, look, in my opinion, I think two teams are going to go out in straight sets out of the top four. I think the Sharks are going to go out in straight sets. I think the Sharks will lose this weekend, and I think the Cowboys will beat them next week. And then I believe the Sydney Roosters will also go out in straight sets. I think the Roosters will get beat by Penrith on Friday night, and then I think the Roosters, with all the injuries and everything, I know they'll be back at Allianz and they'll be playing the Bulldogs or Manly. I think Bulldogs or Manly, I think either of them are a good chance to beat the Roosters at Allianz with all their injuries. So I'm going to say Sharks and Roosters both going out in straight sets.
Oh, right.
I think it's going to happen. And I'm going to predict that the Cowboys and Bulldogs or Cowboys and Manly, depending on what happens on Sunday between Dogs and Manly, I think there's a chance that they could all be in the prelim. Cowboys or Bulldogs or Cowboys and Manly, they could make a prelim. It's a possibility. Could be wrong, could be right. I guess we're going to have to wait and see, but finals begin this weekend. Do you think, can you see a world where the Panthers or the Storm go out in straight sets?
Probably not. I don't think so. I will be surprised. I will be absolutely surprised if either of those two teams go out in straight sets after finishing top four, especially with Melbourne being the minor premiers, being the team that they are this year. So, I don't see it. I just don't see it. Penrith, I just can't see it, to be honest. But who knows? Finals, anything can happen. Anything can happen. But
I think the only way that Penrith could go out in straight sets is if Nathan Cleary gets injured on Friday night in his return.
Yeah.
Things don't go to plan. They get a couple of injuries. Roosters knock them off with the ambush. And then if there's no Nathan
Mm,
Cleary for the semi-final, Panthers could get knocked out. There's a possibility that could happen. But
yeah.
I think injuries are the only thing preventing Penrith
Yep.
from winning Friday night. And Melbourne, well, if Melbourne got beat by the Sharks and then they got knocked out by the Cowboys or Knights, that would be one of the
Jeez.
biggest wasted, embarrassing parts of the seasons I've ever seen. If Melbourne lost to the Sharks in Melbourne and then got beaten by the Cowboys or Knights, it would be very embarrassing for the Storm. And I don't think a team has been knocked out in straight sets as minor premiers since maybe the Dragons in 2009. It's been a long time since that's happened, I think. So, yeah,
Yeesh.
crazy,
Well,
crazy stuff, man. All right, let's get into the tips, shall we? Mr. Warriors, NRL Fanatics.
right.
Some awesome finals games to look forward to on the
Yep.
weekend. We'll go through it, man. All I want you to give me your first try scorer and a certain team by exactly how much. So we start off on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Panthers versus Roosters in the qualifying final. Panthers come second on the ladder. Roosters come third. It's in
Yep.
Penrith. How do you see this one going on Friday night?
Well, Nathan Cleary is the big in. It is a massive in. Penrith
Yeah,
are a totally different team with Nathan Cleary on the side. We've seen the last couple of weeks they've been struggling. You know, their attack hasn't been quite clicking there. So I think Cleary's a massive in. And that's actually for me, obviously favouring Penrith. I'm going to go Penrith. I'm going to go Panthers, but I'm going to say 1-12. Um,
yeah.
yeah, Panthers 1-12, and I think they'll get the win. They'll get the job done and get a week off. And get a home
Who do you
present.
think will score the first try?
First try scorer, I will say. Yeah, I'll go with Sunia Charuva on the wing there.
Yeah, look, for me, the Roosters, if they're going to win this, they're going to have to get off to a really good start and look
Yeah,
for a bit of an ambush. I think if it's a low scoring grind, the Panthers will probably suffocate them. So, look,
yeah.
it's going to be very difficult for the Roosters going out to Penrith. I think Penrith have won 9 or 10 in a row against them. So, for me, Penrith win. Penrith win well. Penrith win 13 plus. And I'll go the other winger. I'll go Brian To'o as the first try scorer. Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock from Amy Park in Melbourne. The other qualifying final, Melbourne and Cronulla. Melbourne come first. Cronulla come fourth.
Mm.
Can you see an upset here, or do you think the Storm will be too good?
Nah, I know the Sharks bit them early in the year. They went down there and they bit them with that Hines, and I think it was the Atkinson that kicked the field goal on that
He
day.
did, actually, yes.
Yeah, so I'm sure they'll take a bit of confidence out of that. The Sharks, going down there. This time they'll have a fully fit side, so
Yeah.
they'll take a bit of confidence going into it. But I think the Storm at the moment are showing why they're one of the best teams in the comp. The consistency, of course, winning the minor premiership and that, and I think Bellamy will have them ready for this one against the Sharks at home and in front of their home fans. So I think Storm will just be way too good. I think Storm 13 plus for me. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I give the Sharks a chance. There
Mm.
is a crazy stat going
Yeah.
around about Melbourne having won a finals game in the afternoon, like during the day, since like
Mm.
2017 or something. So a bit of a bad omen there for the Storm. But look, Sharks will be a chance, man. I'll give them a big chance. I think the Sharks have got the game plan to win this. They got the style of football to win. But for me, I think Melbourne will win 1-12. I'll go Melbourne. I don't know, Melbourne by like 8, I reckon, and then I'll go to Sharks to score first. I'll go Britton Akora to score the first try. Storm 1 to
Ooh.
12. All right, the
Yep.
big one on Saturday night, 7:50 in Townsville. Elimination final. The 5th place Cowboys against the 8th place Knights. Really looking forward to this. Who do you like, Fanatics?
Yeah, I'm going to go Cowboys at home home conditions. Not even having to take the plane to Sydney. I
Thank
think
God.
them being at home is a massive advantage for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I know the Cowboys' record at home is not the greatest this year. Um,
Yeah.
so that may give the Knights a little bit of a sense of hope. I think the thing for the Cowboys is they've got to make sure they keep Ponga quiet. Because I think
Yes.
if Ponga has a massive game, then that's a danger sign. That's a danger sign for your boys. So look, I mean the Knights aren't out of it. I don't think I'm writing them off completely out of this
Yeah.
one, but I think the Cowboys at home, I think they'll do it. But I don't think it'll be a big score. I think it'll be 1-12. And I
Okay.
know the last time these two teams played, I think it was a very close game. I think it was 1 point. You guys won by a
Chad
field goal.
Townsend with the field goal
Yeah,
back in round 2. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm kind of expecting that sort of game again. I'm kind of expecting it to be quite tight.
So
Being
you're
sudden
going 1 to
death as
12?
well.
You're going 1 to 12
Yeah, I'm
cows?
going 1-12 Cowboys.
Well, what about first try?
First try scorer will go with Kyle Felt.
I like it. Give you a quick stat. I think Cowboys have
Yep.
won 5 or 6 in a row against the Knights. Knights haven't beat
Yep.
the Cowboys since 2021. And the Knights haven't won in Townsville since 2015. So
Ooh,
some stats there, but yeah, you know me, bro. I'm going to tip the Cowboys to win.
of course.
Cowboys by I'll go 13 plus. And first try, I'll go who do I go for first try? You know what? I'll go Murray Talangi. Murray
Oh,
Talangi. All
yeah,
right, and the
that's
final
quite good.
game. The other elimination final, Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock at a core stadium. The 6th place Bulldogs against the 7th place Manly Seagulls. This will be a good game. Who do you think wins this
Yep.
one, Bulldogs or Manly?
Yeah, well, this is a massive game, a huge game. Of course, the Dogs playing at a core and a home final for a very first time in a long time, and the Seagulls themselves welcoming back Tommy Travoy, which is again another massive in, just like the Cleary in for the Panthers. It's
100%.
massive for them because I think if Tommy weren't named and not playing this week, I'd probably go Dogs quite comfortably. But I'm actually going to go with Manly here. Manly 1-12, and I know apparently the betting's saying Manly are favourites, which is
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure it's even money.
even money, right? Yes. So
Yeah.
I'll say Manly 1-12. I would not be surprised though if the Dogs won, but I'm going to go Manly 1-12 here.
I'll go Dogs 1 to
Yeah.
12. I'll go Dogs 1 to 12. And first try, I'll go who do I go? I'll go, you know what? I'll go Ola Kawatu to score the first try.
Mm.
All right, Fanatics, that's where the podcast is going to come to an end, bro. Thanks for a
Yep.
good show, bro. And yeah, see you next week.
Yeah, well, good luck again to your Cowboys, Nick. Good luck to those teams in the finals. Good luck to them. All the best, and
Yep.
bring on the finals this week. It's going to be a cracker. Can't wait for the finals.
Thank you all for watching. Don't
Yep.
forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We're getting out of here. Enjoy the rest of your night. Bring on the finals. Go the Cowboys.